Bouldersaurus. In this episode, I'm returning to my old format and will be showing you 10 cool boulders from the last set. As usual, enjoy. Let's start with this cool V7 that features 3 heel hooks. As the name implies, a heel hook is a footwork technique designed to pull your hips close to the wall. The start of this climb requires a lot of compression, and I use these 2 heel hooks to keep my lower half from swinging out. You can see when I release the right heel hook how much my body swings out. The second half of this climb consists of a very committing dyno that is 80 times more terrifying to do in person than it seems in this video. The swing you get from it is immense. There's one last heel hook on the top. This one to allow me to sink my weight under the final hold and then drop into the abyss. I recently have developed a major love for pogos. A pogo in climbing is a dynamic move where you swing one of your legs to generate momentum. They're specifically useful when your foot options are limited and you need to launch yourself to the side in a controlled manner. Notice when I hit my target hold, I spread my limbs out to slow my rotational momentum. It's like the opposite of pulling your limbs in to spin faster. This climb's difficulty is all in the jump, the rest requires thought and strength, but it's a nice sequence to wrap up a cool dynamic climb. Enjoy my failed takes here. This move is tough and low percentage. On to a climb that is much less about dynamicism and more about finger strength and body tension. The holds on this climb are quite small and require a lot of control to move through them, as seen with this crossover. The crux of this climb is crossing off this terrible crimp with slippery feet. I almost dropped off the end, but used my back muscles to pull myself into the wall. This was a nice one to get. Now for an easier climb that has a sit start. You'll see these much more outside, but every so often they'll pop up in a gym. The holds on this climb are difficult and small, but it's balanced out with very large and generous footholds. This climb is a great transition into the crimpy style of handhold. Alright, back to jumping. This climb features a mobility-focused jump off a high foot. The top of this climb features a very difficult large pinch and a scary move to the finish that I use some creative heel hook beta to move through. Despite the technique, it wasn't quite enough to get me to the finish hold.
What you say?
When you see videos of climbers, you're often seeing the final product and not the process. It may look like I know what I'm doing in a lot of these videos, but oftentimes there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes to get the climb's camera ready. Some climbers are very skilled at giving it their all in their first attempt. I am not one of them. Where my strengths do lie is figuring out the perfect sequence of moves to get me through a climb. In short, this is a friendly reminder that yes, you can do it, and yes, it'll probably take a lot of tries to get there. And no, it probably won't get there the first few times. Here's a fun fact about this white climb. The setting team at my gym consists of our head setter, Steve, and 2 setters, Margot and Robbie. On this set, they were challenged with setting a boulder in under 15 minutes. This was the boulder that Robbie created in the time frame. While not shown in this video, there are so many ways to climb this problem. Each way is just as challenging as the last. I found it super cool that a problem set so quickly offered so many options. Nice job, CRG setting team. This next boulder was quick and fun. It features a jump start, followed by a challenging mantle up into this corner. The footholds are tiny here, so it requires a lot of commitment to really push on them. The finish hold is just a smooth little bump on the wall, which requires a stemming position to properly match. I like quirky boulders like this one. It's easy to think climbing is all about pulling, but when sloped holds are put in an inside corner, called a dihedral, the climb becomes almost exclusively about pressing. After an overhead press into a volume, the climber has to work their feet up into the corner using these sloped holds as leverage. There's a lot of ways to tackle this boulder, and it usually depends on your body morphology. It requires just as much mobility and balance as it does finger strength. This next climb is similar, but balances pushing and pulling. I have to get both of my hands on the start hold in a controlled fashion, which requires this balancy and tenuous shift over my right pressing hand. After this, it's a few more moves up into the corner. Notice I switch my left hand to a press and move my right hand up. Getting this left foot up might not seem like a major accomplishment, but for many climbers, this is a bit of mobility that presents the hardest part of this climb. As I always say, having mobility isn't the coolest climbing superpower, but it certainly sucks if you don't have it. We'll wrap things up with this V6 that requires a stylish back flag in the first few moves and some fun footwork toward the top. Please let me know in the comments which format of video you prefer, a focus on a single climb or a showcase of a wider variety of climbs. This video required 67 different shots and certainly made me sweat getting them. If there's anything you'd like to see or learn about, please let me know in the comments. I get such a joy out of getting to educate people on the sport that I love so much. Thank you so much for watching, and see you again soon.